Welcome viewers, welcome to ITV Gold Tax Tips. My name is Ajay Kumar. I'm an accountant, a CPA at Sai CPA Services. Today we'll talk about buying the car under the business name or under your name. During this time of the year, we get a lot of questions. Should I buy the car under the business name or should I buy the car under my name? What are the pros and cons? Should I lease the car? What is Section 179? How about the 6,000 pound of GWR deduction? Let's dig in. So take a step back. First, let's try to decide if you should be buying the car or the vehicle under your name or under your business name. So if you want to calculate the depreciation, if you want to depreciate the vehicle title must be under the business name. You can get a lot of deductions if the title is under the business name. The downside is your insurance may be higher because when the title is under the business name, technically the business can authorize anybody in the business, any employee, to drive that vehicle. So a lot of times the insurance company will charge you more money. A lot of times the banks, the financing company will give you hard time to finance the vehicle when the vehicle is under the business name. You also have to be concerned about the liability. God forbid, if the vehicle happens to be in an accident, the company can be sued. So you have to be very careful if you really want the vehicle under the business name or not. The upside is if the business owns the vehicle, if the title is under the business name, the business has the right to claim the depreciation. That's where Section 179 comes. Take an example. Let's say the vehicle is $50,000 and you decide the life of the vehicle is 5 years. You can claim depreciation up to $10,000 per year. Under Section 179 depreciation, you get additional $25,000 of vehicle depreciation. So in our example, your first year depreciation could be as much as $35,000. If you go to gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR, the principle is, the whole idea is if your vehicle weight is over 6,000 pounds, if your gross vehicle weight is over 6,000 pounds, you get to claim 100% depreciation. But you have to weigh out your situation. Does it make sense for you to have the vehicle title under the business name? If the vehicle is under your own name, you own the vehicle, you have two options. You can claim the standard mileage deduction. No paperwork is needed. You show these are the total miles, these are the miles used for business, these are the miles used for personal, and whatever miles were used for business, you get a standard deduction. Say right now, you have 57.5 cents per mile. Or as a second option, which is slightly better typically, you can claim the out-of-pocket actual expense, the gas, the tolls, the repair, the maintenance, the cleaning, depending on your type of business. All the actual expense that you have for the car, you can claim that on your vehicle. If you own the vehicle, you're not supposed to be using it for your personal use, especially if you own more than 2% of your LLC or S corporation. All the personal use have to be reported as your personal income. Let's say you own an S corporation. Your W-2 salary is $100,000. You spent $10,000 on the car and you were using 50% for personal use and 50% for business use. The $5,000 out of the total $10,000 of expenses, 50% of it has to be reported as taxable income to you because you had the control. So you have to be really careful. A lot of times, small businesses get audited because they had a vehicle and there was nothing reported for personal use. You have a vehicle, this is the only vehicle, you must be using it over the weekend, at least partly for your personal use as well. Going back to if you have the vehicle under your own name, then you can claim the actual expenses. You cannot claim actual expenses as well as the standard mileage. You cannot have double dipping. A lot of times we come across situations where people have claimed the actual expense. They were paying the gas, the tolls, everything through the business account. And at the end of the year, they try to claim the mileage as well. That will be double dipping. You are not allowed to do that. That's about if you have a vehicle, if you can have a vehicle under the business name or if you can have a vehicle under your personal name. Let's go to leasing versus buying. That's a very, very case sensitive question. Are you the person who needs to have a new car every so often, or are you the person who will have a vehicle for many years? Do you really want a new vehicle in your type of profession every 3 years, 4 years? Or do you have a minivan that you have had for 7 years. So depending on how long you want to keep the vehicle, depending on how soon you want to change the vehicle, the leasing or the buying question is typically decided. Leasing happens to be typically more expensive than the buying the car. Leasing is typically used when your business is leasing the vehicle as opposed to you leasing the vehicle. When it's under your name, it's typically cheaper to buy the vehicle as opposed to leasing the vehicle. Again, if you are buying the vehicle under the business name or leasing the vehicle under the business name, then you have to be concerned about the personal use that has to be reported separately as taxable income. If you are buying the vehicle under the business name, if you are going through the hassle of having the title under the business name, then please read about GVWR, gross vehicle weight rating. If the vehicle is over 6,000 pounds, you have 100% depreciation deduction in the year of buying the vehicle. Again, more you know, more tax savings you can have. My name is Ajay Kumar. I'm an accountant, a CPA at Sai CPA Services. Keep watching. We have a lot of information coming across your way. Thank you.